Yeah.
Okay.
Then because I haven't asked you, right? I'm also curious about the story. It's really interesting, especially I'm helping with the Mualaf organization, meeting many other people who just enter Islam, and then they have different stories. I'm also curious with your story, right? And then after that, you're going to tell about Canberra. It's not really that interesting. They always say that. People always say that, and then apparently for other people, it's like, oh, it's Australia. and then we're going to talk about Muslim in Canberra, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is gonna be relaxed, right? Kang Abdul ya, santai aja kan? Brothers here, my name is Zaki, and this is we have our friends here, brother Shamir, and then I just met him today, so Alhamdulillah, and met him accidentally actually. In front of the masjid. So he just entered. I just know that he just entered Islam. So Brother Shamir, just tell us this brief introduction about who you are and then how you when will you enter Islam and everything.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillah. I'm Shamir. Sorry, with the mic. I'm Shamir. My full name is Shamir Gurung.
I guess we both awkward in front of camera.
Yeah, very awkward. I'm Shamir. I'm originally from Nepal, but I live in the UK, and I reverted in Australia, funnily enough, maybe about 8 months ago, just before Ramadan, and I think
this was 2024.
2024, yeah.
March.
Yeah, March 2024.
Okay. Just before Ramadan.
Just before Ramadan, yeah.
Oh, mashallah.
Just before Ramadan, and it was a good segue into
Ramadan.
Yeah, it was a good runway into. I mean, the thing is, me being able to do Ramadan as a new revert was really.
Isn't that hard?
It was good for me actually because it created a routine.
Okay.
For me, so obviously the fasting and everything, and the routine was there. Alhamdulillah. But yeah, so
they got like a different stages for me, my experience about people who enter Islam. Mm-hmm. Like they know Islam about they know what is Islam first time he enters Islam. First time he hears about Islam, and then he said, "Oh, Islam is like this and that." And then suddenly there is a stage where you started learning about Islam.
Yeah.
So this is the first step. What do you call it? When you heard about Islam first time.
What was
your perception?
What my perception?
Yeah, about Islam first time. And then the second stage is when you start learning Islam. Mm-hmm. And then this is the stages that I made up. And the third stage is the decision when you finally enter Islam. Let's see about those three stages in your story.
Okay, well, I want to keep it as brief as possible.
Yeah. Because this is short, I guess.
I tend to talk a lot.
Okay. Oh, okay.
But,
I just know that. Okay.
No. I think for me, my perception before I reverted was like many people.
This is for the first stage, right? This is first time you heard about Islam?
Yeah, first time I heard about Islam.
This is in UK?
In the UK, yeah. I was at university. But actually, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He placed many Muslim brothers in my path along the way. So,
in UK?
Whichever, in the UK.
On campus?
On the campus, yeah. And whatever perceptions I had were immediately sort of blocked.
So you're lucky you have someone or some brothers who you can ask.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay.
And I was always like a person to question, about religion.
Alhamdulillah.
And I wasn't really sure about my previous religion before, and everything. So I was always curious about religion, and yeah. So I had some negative perceptions, as a lot of people do. But as I say, immediately I met some Muslim brothers at university, and alhamdulillah, my perception of Islam turned into a very positive one. And ever since that point, the years went by, and I asked them the questions, and I asked many brothers along the way many different questions about Islam. And funnily enough, my sort of intention was to know about every single religion before I made my mind up.
Okay.
So I wanted to know.
You already have your religion, right? You already have.
Yeah, I already had my own religion that I was born with, and then. But I wanted to know about different religions about the world.
So it's more like curiosity.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, long story short, it's funny because now looking back at it, it was mainly my research was basically just Islam.
Okay.
So
you ended up not learning any other religion?
Not really, not really. It was just focused on Islam, and I just wanted. It was the first and final research that I ever did, and I think
you're lucky then.
Yeah, I knew about other religions a little bit, but it was the one that made sense the most.
Is that the same time we're going to the second stage now? Is that the same time you're actually learning about Islam? You start searching more about Islam. Is that the same time when you kept asking the brothers?
Yeah, so I learned a lot through the brothers.
So when did you really start learning? I mean, you're asking these brothers, what is Islam like this, what is Islam like that, right? The brothers can then give you answers. And then what I'm talking about is when you actually started to, I need to learn about this. Mm-hmm. You need to read. You started to buy a book or reading something online in a lengthy.
That was only recently, actually. So I've known about
before you entered Islam, right?
Yeah, before I entered Islam, and like I bought like a Quran and English version of the translation of the Quran.
Okay.
And I started reading that, but even then I didn't read fully into it.
Okay.
Like a lot of the things but it was more for me, rather than reading, it was about the akhlaq, the conversation that I would have with the brothers. And actually more recently, there were a few instances where I met some brothers, and barakallahu fikum, they really knew a lot about Islam.
Alhamdulillah.
And
in
so,
UK?
This was when I was abroad. So
Okay. Abroad from UK?
So I was abroad at that time, and I asked them some weird questions. And
weird question.
Yeah, so I asked them many questions, and a lot made sense.
Okay.
And I watched some videos.
The answers is the answers.
The ancestors and all this stuff.
The answers is text. The answers to your questions.
Yes, the answers to my questions were making sense, and also the questions were about ancestors as well, because in my culture we also have ancestor worship.
Okay.
Yeah, so actually that was one of the questions. But anyway, so more recently, it was more about it was less so about my own research and more about the research or what I was getting from brothers.
Oh, okay.
If you see what I mean. And of course I did some research here and there, but it wasn't as deep as what the brothers would have told me.
Okay.
You know? And so...
what would lead you to the third stage, as I said before, when you finally,
yeah.
I want to take the shahada now.
Yeah.
What happened? And then, or someone forced you, or you don't know you're gonna die, or something, or you talk about the brothers, or something magically happened in front of you, or what is it?
Alhamdulillah.
I just wake up and then, or you have a dream, or
nothing like that.
Nothing like that. Nothing fancy.
Nothing too fancy. It was just one day. So I was working, and I was at a new place of work, and I met a new brother there,
Muslim
brother, and I didn't know he was Muslim because he was from Sierra Leone, from Africa.
Sierra Leone, okay.
And I didn't realize that, you know, there were Muslims in Africa at the time.
Okay.
So I was like, subhanallah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say subhanallah at that stage, but you know, I was, you know, intrigued. And so when I started talking to him, we talked about Islam. I started asking questions, and then he said something. This was just this year, actually.
Just this year.
Yeah.
But you had experience, right? You had already had experience talking about Islam to the other brothers before this.
Yeah. So I already had like a good perception of Islam, the sort of foundations already. That obviously the 5 pillars of Islam and things like this. So I already knew, and how to become a Muslim, and of course.
So is he the one who?
He was the last brother that I talked with before I reverted.
So he's the one who encouraged you to like.
I think he's the last push. Yeah.
He's the last push.
He's the last push to.
What did he actually say?
He asked me a question.
Okay.
Because I said to him, you know, I'm basically Muslim, but
You said that to him?
I said that to him.
Okay.
Because I at that time, what I was doing was, I had already quit drinking.
Okay.
I had already quit music, pretty much.
Okay.
A lot of the stuff that Islam already has as a foundation, a lot of the stuff that...
You already believe in one God at that time?
Sorry?
You already believe in one God at that time?
Yeah.
Because Hindus doesn't...
No,
we don't consider the Jesus part, right?
Yes.
Prophet Isa.
So...
Tawhid.
Yeah, that they believe in many different gods. Yeah.
So what did the brother from Sierra Leone ask you?
So he just said, "Well, what's stopping you?" You know, because I was basically Muslim, but without, you know, taking the Shahada.
Did that question silence you, or?
You know, I was asked this question before by a friend, but I didn't really take much notice. But this time it was like, you know, the second round. And it really got me thinking, and
as if you heard these questions just for the first time.
Yeah, as if I heard it for the first time, I guess. But yeah, anyway, I thought about it for like a day or two, and then I was sitting in my car one day after that conversation, and then I quickly looked up the Shahada on YouTube. And I took my Shahada in my car. In your car? Yeah.
You're driving?
No, I wasn't driving. I was parked up. I was parked up.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. I thought you were driving.
No.
Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Driving and then.
But
it can happen still, you know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could probably do that as well. But yeah, so I was in my car and I just took the Shahada at that time, and then I knew that Ramadan was coming up. Okay. And then I've always wanted to do Ramadan, and it was the perfect time to take the Shahada and then do the Ramadan properly. And I went to the local masjid after 2 days into the Ramadan.
2 days already started Ramadan. So this is the second day of Ramadan?
So I started learning how to pray before Ramadan.
Okay.
I think I was just learning how to pray, getting all the basics, and then I was too shy to go to the masjid at first, but then I just went and...
You took the Shahada at the second day of Ramadan?
No, I already took the Shahada before.
Oh, before
I went
Ramadan.
to the masjid.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
In my car.
Oh, yeah.
And then...
I mean with the brothers.
But then with the brothers, that was only later, I think, maybe after a
few weeks?
A couple of weeks, yeah.
Oh, okay.
A couple of weeks after.
So this is March?
Sorry, March.
This is March, so it's like 8 months, starting to 8 months.
Yeah, 8 months now,
You took the Shahada. So how do you see Muslims in Canberra? How many masjids there? Is there like a big community?
There's quite there's a big community.
I mean, how many people's in Canberra anyway? 100,000?
I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head.
I think millions, I guess.
I think probably, yeah. It's a big city.
Yeah, big. Oh, okay. The capital of Australia.
It's the capital of Australia, yeah. And yeah, there's a, mashallah, there's a big community there of Muslim brothers and sisters. And there are a couple, I think 2 Islamic schools as well. I think in total, there's probably about 5-6 masjids, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 4 or 5.
Alhamdulillah.
4 or 5.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, so
A big city, 5 masjids.
yeah,
Maybe a few thousands Muslims there, maybe.
yeah, probably.
Okay. How do you find it for 8 months as a Muslim?
As a Muslim, very, 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 what do you call it? Wholesome. I think this is
Wholesome,
like
like a whole and
yeah.
awesome.
It's like you're, you know, like there was a missing piece, and then now you're complete. You
okay.
know, with Allah Subhanahu wa Taala.
What's the challenges though, as a Muslim in Canberra?
Challenge.
Not many halal food.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I think that's probably in the West. That's probably the most common problem.
Yeah.
But actually, not many, because you're allowed to, you know, practice freely, even with my job.
Oh, okay.
I work as a support worker.
Okay.
And yeah, like I take my clients to the masjid sometimes, you know, and alhamdulillah, they allow me to pray whenever I want.
Oh, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, so you know there aren't many problems.
Yeah.
You're allowed to pray. You can do your ibadah, which is good. But
I guess we're gonna make the audience curious for the next episode. We're gonna end it here, I guess.
Yes.
Inshallah. Yeah. Thank you, brothers, listening to us.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum.
Because I'm running out of ideas.
Yeah. And questions. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair.
This is a sudden when